is Bitcoin forming a bullish pennant on the 4 hour? Are we going to 11.5k again, or are we going back to 10.5k? That's what we are here to be finding out. Hello Adrian, and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. and we are in UTC +8. That's my time zone. I want to wish you all the best on this beautiful Wednesday. It's hump day, so we are smack in the middle of the week. And I want to say hi first to the hardcore crew. Hi Henry, long time no see, Henry. Hi Darren, hi Nikolai, hi Val, hi Lex. Hope you are doing well as well. So before we move into anything, let's take a look on some COVID numbers before we go into some technical analysis, shall we? That's already the chart. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not the one. Also, this is the one. Here we go. Are we close to the moon? Maybe. But for like I said, I think it's the same as yesterday. Potentially, you know, of course, now that we are more ranging towards the upper end of the channel, the probabilities are higher that we are gonna go to the moon than that we are gonna go to the Earth. Let's put it like that. But I try to be not as biased as possible, and just follow my targets and my zones. And if my targets hit, then we can confirm for the next cases. That's how we are trading, and not just randomly going into directions and so on, or keeping your mind close to just one direction, right? There's too many people who are just moon boys and just thinking like, yes, we are gonna go for sure to 20,000, and not change their mind. And there are also doom boys that are saying, yes, Bitcoin is gonna go to $1,000 and not change their mind at all. I mean, that's not the right mindset to be having if you are a trader. If you are an investor or anything else, sure, that's okay. But if you are a trader, you should be prepared for several scenarios and just trade accordingly. And that's what levels are for. And that's way more important than just, like I said, everybody can be right, everybody can be wrong. That's not what matters. What matters is to be able to make money, right? That's what matters, okay? I would prefer to be wrong and make money than to be right and, just stroke my ego or something like that. Oh, I called that correctly, like that kind of stuff. It's not important. It's more like, okay, Bitcoin went to 11,500. How much money did you make? That's more important. But anyways, before I rant more about that, let's go into the COVID numbers first. We have over 4.3 million cases in the US, 2.5 million, close to 2.5 million now in Brazil, and over 1.5 million in India right now. So that the coronavirus cases keep on stacking up. We are now worldwide over 16.7 million cases. But the good news is, of course, and let's always think about the good news, is that over 9.7 million people did recover from the virus. So, that's a substantial amount of people. But other than that, obviously, all the top 6 countries, the charts are still looking the same. It is like a moonshot towards the top side. Nothing else changes on that area. Hi, Sasha. Hi, Mackenzie. Hi, Zaldi. Hope you are doing well, and welcome as well. So a couple of things that are very important for today is the following. First of all, let's take a look on the ETH chart, because in the ETH chart, I did take a trade on the ETH, so I just wanted to be a little bit transparent over there. So what did I take? Well, first of all, we can see that a bullish pennant, this is what a bullish pennant looks like. A bullish pennant is forming on ETH. I did take a trade here on the P pivot after we managed to hold that position at 316.90, and then I just basically took my profit here at the R1. It was a quick scalp at like 325.09 just to take profits. Doesn't mean that it will not be going back up more. Of course, it can go back up more, but for me, that was just a scalp that I wanted to be taking. The same scenario that I'm doing exactly the same thing on Bitcoin. We can see exactly the same thing. So I took a long here at 10,900 and 39, as you can see on the pivot point, and now I'm basically waiting for it to hit the R1 at 11,193 once again. But as you can see right now, unlike with Ethereum, it did break out, but it never touched the top side, and it immediately got a huge push towards the downside. So it got me a little bit nervous there, but yeah, I'm still waiting for things to be conclusive, and most likely we'll be knowing a lot more in the next 24 minutes or something like that. And for the record, so we have the target of 11,040 as the VWAP close. So that's basically my target as well. So if the next 4-hour candle closes below 11,040, I will just take the profits and close my position, and whatever what is the $100 spread or something like that, I'll just close it and take my profits, because that would mean most likely the next candle will most likely to be targeting towards the downside rather than the upside. If it does close above the 11,040, I will just leave my position and target once again that 11,200 area, or the R1 area, towards the upside. But other than that, I don't think nothing that big happened during yesterday. If we want to be follow up, like I said, I don't expect major things to be happening. I think that we will be mostly putting in a range, like as you can clearly see here, putting in a range. Is it possible that we touch the top side once again towards the top side of this channel? Sure. Is it possible that we go down and touch the downside of the channel? Sure. That's basically the two ranges that we are looking at. And so basically I'm just trying to scalp that range whenever I see some low risk scenarios. So that's basically what I was looking at on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. But before we go into in more Bitcoin analysis detail, I wanted to tell you guys that today is a quite important day for the FED. So if you don't know, there is a huge FED meeting tonight, and basically a new guidance are going to be explained, when to raise the rates, about new policy, how the recent events are affecting the economy, and so on and so on and so on. As you can see, transportation, checkpoints, a lot of things are going to be discussed later tonight during that meeting, and that is basically going to be affecting quite a lot of the stock, the traditional, basically the vibe of the stock market, and of course that also means everything else, right? So stock markets, Bitcoin, and so on and so on. It will be available at 2:30 a.m. So Nikolai, you will have to be staying awake very late tonight. So for people who are in my time zone in the Philippines, UTC +8, it is at 2:30 a.m. later tonight. So yes, you will be able to watch the FED meeting later tonight, or you can read about the reports later on. So usually when it comes to these kind of like fundamental changes, very similar. I don't trade the traditional markets right now because it's a little bit too risky for me. And then depending on what happens later on, by tomorrow we'll take it up from there. But I do expect some sort of like a resolution on in terms of like confidence of the people in the stock market and in the economy with whatever will going to be transpiring later tonight. So 2:30 a.m. something that you have to be keeping in mind. Also, although it's illegal, we all know that there is some inside trading. So when the stock market opens, most likely we will be seeing some sort of like movement beforehand already on what is going to be said during the FED meeting. And I know it's illegal, but I'm pretty sure that it's no way that they kind of fully close everything down. There's always some people who are more in the know than others, let's put it like that, although it is of course illegal. Hi Alvin, hi Cedric, welcome to the channel as well. So just taking a look at pure technical analysis, what we have been seeing on the Nasdaq and on the S&P is what I kind of expected, very much sideways and non-resolution. And so a lot of people are asking me like, well, didn't you say that there's a lot of correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin? So why is Bitcoin pumping while the stock market is basically moving sideways? Well, you have to understand, and this is the same concept as Bitcoin with the altcoins, right? When are altcoins going to be pumping? Well, remember when Bitcoin was doing absolutely nothing for like mainly ranging for like weeks and weeks and weeks on, that's when altcoins pumped, right? So like I said, you should be looking at Bitcoin as some sort of like an altcoin of the traditional market. So when the traditional markets, and that's something that I also said, right? The fun is over with the traditional markets. Most likely we had that crazy run, and I know the FED is going to be, trying to push it even harder for the next coming 1 or 2 months, because, like I said, the effect will be very important for either the re-election of Trump or, or basically the new party that is going to be the new president for the United States, right? So if Trump gets re-elected, most likely there will be more and more. Crazy things happening. Yes, Planet. That's right. Correlation has been higher right now with gold and silver, but overall, it still has a very high correlation with the stock market. So other than that, like I said, we have to be very, very careful with what happens either way in the stock market. If the stock market or the traditional market starts, really, really crashing towards the downside, it does not bode well for Bitcoin or for gold or whatsoever, to be honest. A lot of people are now in that super FOMO vibe for gold. And to be honest, and like I've said before, the gold chart is definitely not looking bad at all. As you can see here, we have reached my target of near 2,000 on gold. And if we are looking at the long term, if we just are looking on the monthly, if it in the 2 days, if this monthly closes here, it just has to be basically closing above 1,830. For me to be saying like most likely next month we will be going even higher for gold, right? So. But we have to be very careful. Like I said, if the FED is going to be doing, crazy things, that might change. That might change. Not immediately, but maybe in the next couple of weeks. Well, why is the FED doing something? Well, that's because of the Dixie. Right? Let's go to the Dixie chart. That is the US dollar index, right? And the problem is, so as you can see right here, the dollar has been doing this since the last couple of months. The dollar has been, maybe I should put it on the day chart, you can see it a little bit more clear. So the dollar has been doing this over the past couple of months, basically. And of course, everything that is the world economy, most of the world economy is traded into US dollar, right? That's the biggest currency right now. So with the dollar index, the US dollar index going down in value, that does bode well for investment like stock market and so on and so on, but not good for the US dollar, the value itself, right? So that is basically one of the reasons why this FED meeting is being held, because they want to be correcting or saving the US dollar right now, right? So if we are looking on the weekly, it's really insane. As you can see here, it's just it's just crazy. It's really crazy. But like I said, we have to be very careful if a lot of good measures are going to be made. The Dixie is going to make a comeback and it's going to be pumping towards the upside. And actually, if we are now looking at the commitment of traders, for people who are looking at those charts for the Dixie, the amount of longs have been increasing now. So at this point in time, suddenly we have an increase of longs on Dixie. So is this immediately going to be pulling going back up. I don't think so. I do think that there's more downwards. I would be saying like most likely around the 92.5 ish area or the previous support level here. So in the very short term, I do think that we still have more downtrend for the Dixie, but with those measures and measures that people are looking forward to and are trying to check, most likely we will have a pump back in Dixie. And you can see here the RSI is like it's like insanely low as well. So after those measurements, I do expect in the next couple of 2-3 weeks, something like that, it's traditional markets, right? So it doesn't happen immediately. I do believe that a lot of the US dollars are going to be bought back up, and that will not bode well for gold, for example. So for the people that are really FOMOing into gold, like I said, everything looks good, and I do think that we will be breaking all-time high for gold, but the top might be in the next couple of weeks if the Dixie is basically going to be pushing back up. So for the people who are FOMOing to gold, I'm just saying, I think the fun times also for gold is almost over as well. So just a precaution for that as well. And when the dollar is going to be going back up, the stock market and the value is going to be going down as well, right? So a few things that we have to be careful with, and like I said, depending on what happens in the next FAD meeting, if there are a lot of resolutions favorable for the Dixie and so on, it will have its effect on the stock market. And of course, like I said, it will have its effect on the Bitcoin market as well. So other than that, for now, it's breaking up. So nothing I can say. This bullish pennant, and I'm waiting for it to be hitting the 11,200 area, or this R1 here, to take profits of my long that I'm in also for Bitcoin. Now there's two things that are very cool as well, right? Two things are very cool as well. So if we are looking at the measure move of this triangle or this pennant, if we do break up, we are looking at actually back to 11,500. And how can we confirm it? Well, basically, we can take this previous body candle of this one. Wait, let me put on the magnet. Previous body candle of this one. So basically, the R1, if we do get a close above this R1 candle in the next 4 hours. So if we close a 4-hour candle above the R1 level, above 11.2K, basically, I do expect Bitcoin to be moving up higher back towards the 11,500. So that could be another scalping or another nice long position that I will be entering in case, like I said, in case we do close above the R1 position. I will just close my position and just re-enter my position if that would be the case, right? And that would mean that most likely we will just be hitting back up here to the top of the channel here of our channel that we have been forming right now. But once again, very similar to us yesterday, I don't think that we have the momentum and the energy with this RSI as at the top here to be breaking such a key level of 11,500, right? Because 11,500 has been the area and the zone that has been reigned as distribution for the past, basically the past 2.5 years or something like that. So I don't think that we have the energy to be breaking back up, but like I said, back up towards 11.5 is very, very possible if, and once again, if we close above 11,200. On the other hand, we can do the same thing on the bottom. If we are closing a candle below this body here at around 10,900, most likely we will be seeing a movement down back into the towards the EMA 21 around the 10,550 or the 10,600 ish area, around this this area here. So don't be like I said, I just trade technical analysis, so I just wait for confirmation of the next couple of candles. But of course, when you are grinding towards the upside, there is more the probability is just higher that you are going to be going towards the upside than the downside. But keep that in mind, and don't get stuck into your position where you're like where you don't know which direction it's going to be going. So that's basically what I'm waiting on right now. I'm waiting for the in the next 9 minutes to be seeing if it closes above the VWAP, which is at 11,040. If it doesn't, then I'll just close my long position immediately, and then I will just be waiting for either one of these movements. Closing above 11,200 would mean a long position towards around 11,500 ish area, even 11,600, as you can see, is possible. If we close below 8,900, then I will be aiming back down towards 10.5, 10.6K around the EMA 21 there. So that's basically the whole plan for now, and it will also, that's basically what trading is all about, rather than being a moon boy or being a doom boy and thinking like, yes, I told you it was gonna go up, or I told you it was gonna go down. I mean, it makes no sense to me to have that kind of mindset, because that doesn't really make me money. That doesn't make me money. I just want to make money. So these are the positions that I'm looking at, and we will have to be waiting for confirmation, and then I'll just act upon, right? So you make a plan, you execute it, right? That's basically it. But other than that, like I said, I don't really think that we will be breaking this channel here, but in case it does, because there's always a possibility. You never know for sure. So in case we do close above this 11,550 ish area, I think it was 11,000. What was the exact number of the previous high? Which was it again? The previous high. Second, let me put it on the weekly, then you can see it a little bit clearer. It was this here, 11,532. Is it 32? Yeah, 11,532. If we close above 11,532, then I'll be aiming immediately towards 12K. This top line here, the 12K level, and then most likely a small pullback, but most likely afterwards near 14K would be the next target. So then the moon boys can be rejoicing once again. But like I said, as long as that confirmation does not happen, of course I will be leaning towards the bullish side, because, well, whenever we are at the top of the channel, you should be more probabilities is just higher that you're going to be breaking towards the upside. But once again, you have to be also very carefully, because if we do break back down towards the bottom of the channel, we can also go back down very harshly as well. And to make a measured move of this channel, we can see it very easily as well. So if we do break up and we do a measured move, if we do break up towards the upside, let's say we break up here again, as you can see here, beautiful at the 14K, as you can see here. And if we do break towards the downside, that's it. As you can see here, if we do break below the downside up, we can see that we are targeting back below 7,000 as well, right? So back to our targets of like 7,200, 7,300 dollars, right? So and of course, a lot of people will be hating on it that isn't gonna go up, or is it going to go down? The market is going to be deciding, but of course, if we are looking at the momentum, of course the momentum right now is towards the upside. So I will be focusing more towards the upper targets areas, and while things were pretty bearish and leaning towards breaking towards the downside, of course I will be more focused towards the areas on the downside. And maybe that's the reason why people think that I am too bearish, or that I am favoring the downside a little bit too much the past couple of weeks, when things were chugging along on the downside, but I was quite clear as well that, you know, whenever it would be breaking the areas towards the upside, you just have to be switching over into a bullish sentiment, right? If the Dixie is going to go up fast and pulls the BTC below 10.5k, is it a good idea to think about taking a short? Well, the Dixie is not going to be moving like in crazy light speed as Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is most likely going to be reacting way faster than anything else. So you know, altcoins will always be a more emotional movement than the traditional market. So like I said, for me, in this mid-time moment, this is the area basically that we have to be holding, right? So if we break here and we close back down here, it's very easy to go back down here towards the bottom of the channel, and then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and most likely we will be breaking towards the downside, right? So this area here is the Hodor area basically. So if we want to be continuation towards the uptrend, that's the area to be holding. Can we retrace back down towards there? Sure, we can retrace back down, and I do expect us to, because that's what always happens. We always go back into the median and form support, and then we pump up and break the channel, right? So I want to be showing how clear this support area is. If you are looking at the weekly, just take a very nice look. So we got here, we got here, we got here, we got here, and then basically we broke up here, as you can see, right? We broke up here. So what you want is to be forming going down, and this was resistance, 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 and this has to be flipping into support, and that's how we basically can break up towards the top end. So, but of course, if we break down, then it's no longer support, right? Then it becomes resistance once again. So that would be definitely not a good thing for Bitcoin. So like I said, for me, everything hinges on holding that green box here, the 10,500-ish area, 10,450. Let's give it a little bit of more margin, 10,400. Basically, that's the area where we broke up from, right? So the 10,400 area. If we close a daily candle below the 10,400 area, I will be not hesitating, and I'll be switching into a short position rather than a long position. But until then, of course, I'm still looking for long positions rather than shorting positions, right? So other than that, let's take a look. The reason why we are a little bit more bullish than normal is, of course, if we are looking on the long term, higher time frame charts are the most important things, right? So this is how things look now on the weekly chart. As you can see, we clearly broke out of that major resistance, and this time it's not a wick or something like that. As you can see, wick. This time it's a full candle that we have broken out from it, and more importantly, the Stokes on the weekly, like I explained before, it was going down, but that movement, you can see that we have made that V-shaped movement towards the upside here, which is very, 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 very positive for the weekly. But the weekly has not closed yet, right? So there are still, there are still things that can happen. So don't 100% be certain of that. And other than that, the RSI on the weekly, as you can see here, we have been waiting for this pattern to be breaking. And as you can see, very strong RSI breaking towards the upside. So everything for that is making me, of course, more bullish towards the upside. But like I said, I don't trade. I want to see the levels to be confirmed and to be break. And we will be seeing a lot of information already with the monthly candle, right? Because this Friday, we will have the monthly candle close. That is going to be very, very important to show continuation of the trend. And of course, the traditional markets will have their monthly close as well, right? So just taking a quick look on the monthly chart, just to show what we are looking for on the monthly chart. Basically this is our monthly chart right now, and as you can see, the previous body here is at 10,765. so on the 1st of June, that's basically where we had a major rejection, and as you can see, after that everything went down on the monthly. So just closing above and making a higher high, that's basically the whole goal. So closing, we are way above right now at 11,100 right now, as you can see. Just closing above 10,065 would give me a bullish bias and would give me a continuation and a change of trend on the monthly, right? Creating a higher high on the monthly is something that is super big, right? Because it's on a very high time frame. So just closing above, let's say 10,800 on the monthly, that would be quite good. But yeah, we still have 2 more days of trading, and as you know, in Bitcoin land things can happen very quickly. But just saying, if we do close on a higher high on the monthly, that would most likely give me a bullish bias of continuation, and that would be the first step. And then we have the weekly close, of course, that we are going to be analyzing, and then of course what happens on the daily basis, right? On the daily basis, like I said, closing above 11,532, that is basically the whole goal, to be seeing continuation, and most likely towards near 14,000. That's what I would be expecting if we do break that level. But once again, before all the moon boys come in, we want to be seeing, at least I want to be seeing confirmation of that first before any trading or before anything, right? So, but yeah, like I said, as long as we are consolidating here on the top of the range, the probabilities are of course higher towards the top end than the lower end, right? And well, as you can see right now, we can basically say that we closed, as you can see right now, we closed basically above, as you can see, above the triangle. So most likely we will be going towards this 11,000, a retest of 11,200 is most likely the scenario, and I will just be holding on to my long for now. And then basically later on tonight, I'll be waiting to see if we do close above this R1 line. If we close another 4-hour candle above this R1 line, I will just be holding on my long position and most likely be closing at about 11,350 as a first profit taking, and then maybe a little bit higher at around the previous high at around 11,400, 11,450, maybe even 11,500 if we get there. So that will be the short time plan. But like I said, I don't think that we will have the enough energy or the momentum to be breaking that 11,500, this green box here towards the upside, or at least close above that green box. It would surprise me if we manage to get there. But you know, you like I said, it's a probability. It's never a sure thing. But if it does close above it, I would immediately just wait, hold my long until around 12,000, because most likely it's just going to spike up there and then make a small retracement there, and then continue and move on to the next target. Basically, that's what Bitcoin is doing. So for people who are aware of Elliott wave theory, this is basically what I'm looking at as a count for now. So something like this. This would be our, of course, our A1, and then our 2 wave, and this would be our 3 wave, and this would be our 4 wave, and then basically this is basically our 5th wave that we are currently forming right now. And that would be my Elliott wave count for now. The question is, of course, this 5th wave, do we top out here at 11,500, or do we top out here at like 14,000 or something like that, right? Let's say we go to 14,000. That's very possible as well, right? So that's basically the main question. where we are at. So if we are zooming in on the daily, the reason why I don't think this movement is done yet, because if that was our fifth wave, we can of course make our sub waves, and for now this is the count that I have for our sub waves. So this would be our first wave, second wave, this would be our third wave that is being formed, might not be completed just yet, then a fourth wave, most likely a retest here of the support, like I said, around the 10,500, and then our fifth wave. The question is where, right? So fifth wave could be here at the 12,000. The fifth wave could also be here at 14,000, right? So that's basically what we are looking at. But overall, if we're looking at probabilities and the volatility that we are and the momentum that we are having, I don't think I don't think 14,000 or near 14,000 is out of the books or anything like that. So it's still definitely possible. But for now, like I said, we just play it by boxes. Basically, we just play it by boxes. We just play it by ranges, and we'll figure it out by then. So let's take a look on the expected moves. If we can see some more information there. So expected moves, first standard deviation towards the top side is 11,312. As you can see, if we do break, if we do get to that 11,300, as you know, most likely we will have continuation, and most likely 11,500 or a retest of the top side. Like I said, it's very, very probable. The first standard deviation to the downside is 10,926 or 27 right now. So that's basically just going back to our pivot point, would not break anything at all. And as you can see right now, the probability is basically 50-50, not towards the upside or towards the downside. But of course, just by looking, like I said, just by looking at this pennant and closing above, outside of this pennant, gives me of course the probability that we are going to be hitting towards the upside is higher than towards the downside. Let's see else. Like I also explained, with the Stokes, you won't be able to see much during a trending move like this. It's just going to be snaking above around this. What you should be using in these types of movements is the RSI. Right now, of course, the RSI is very, very high, but we are not forming any divergences just yet. As you can see here, we keep on making higher highs, so there's no divergence just yet. So that means the trend is still going to be continuing. And as the only thing is the HVP, as you can see, is has completely expanded towards the red area, which means that very big moves are not going to be happening for, it's how the HVP is designed, right? So we have contraction, 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 and then it explodes, and then basically expands, and then expands, and then it's going to contract once again, and then we have a big move once again. So like I said, I don't expect us to have the momentum to be breaking the top side, because basically the HVP is expanding quite rapidly at this moment and at this time. So more sideways and slowly grind towards the upside is possible, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think that we'll be breaking that 11,500-ish area for now. Maybe after a bullish monthly candle close, after a bullish weekly candle close. Of course, that's still possible. Things can change very, very quickly. On the daily, we can also see right now, as you can see, very, very, very high towards the upside, and it will only cross down below 10,622. So very, very far away from from being bearish. So there's nothing to be concerned or to be super bearish about. But like I said, it's that area that we need to be holding. If not, things can turn bad very, very, very quickly. Let's take a look on the 4-hour if we can see something on the Stokes. Most likely not. It will just be snaking around, as you can see. It's trending. Let's see on the RSI. RSI is currently below the EMA right now, but it will be crossing up at 11,200, as you can see, and that makes also sense, right? Like I said, if we do close above 11,200, most likely it will give us enough momentum and strength to go to around 11,500, right? So this is what the RSI is saying. If we do get up back to 11,200 and we close above it, we have the momentum to have another push towards the upside once again, towards a retest of the channel towards the top side of the channel, right? And like I said, for now, just looking at Ether, yeah, looks fine. Ether retested once again the top of the channel. Once again, it's breaking out. So by looking at Ether, maybe we also can see how high Bitcoin is going to be going as well. So if Ether is going towards the R2 or the R3 even, then most likely Bitcoin is going to be following, because Ether has been leading the charge. So it has been moving a little bit faster than Bitcoin, but overall the Bitcoin dominance has been going up, like I said. So most of the altcoins are having severe pain in terms of like BTC pairing, not in terms of USD pairing, of course, but in BTC pairing, a lot of altcoins have been getting ravished, basically, right? So yeah, there is that. Now, is there anything else that I wanted to say? No, that's pretty much it. So let me once again wrap it up, because it's already over 40 minutes. Every time I'm really amazed that when I'm starting to talk, that it goes super quick. Oh wait, and there's somebody who asked something about ERD, so let's take a quick look at ERD first. What happened to ERD? I move this into the auto first. Okay. Let's take a look here on the 4 hour. Change it into the daily. Boom, boom. I think yesterday I said that we most likely have a nice push back up first to like 0.27 ish or something like that. And that's basically what we had, and now we have that push towards the downside. Right now it looks like it's retracing everything. Do we have divergences? Do we see here divergence? No, we don't have divergences or anything. It looks like it's retracing back to the EMA 21. That's where I would be looking at for a bounce. So back to like 0.241. Where I would be most likely is gonna make a bounce on the EMA 21 though. Usually make a small bounce. The question is it gonna make a small bounce or is it gonna make a big bounce? Just looking at everything, I would say that we'll have to wait for the daily close, but this doesn't look good. This looks like a reversal pattern on the daily, but once again, the daily is not closed just yet, so it's not confirmed yet, right? So that would be what I would be looking at. So do we how strong do we bounce here on this level here, and then waiting for tomorrow on the daily close? If we have a bearish engulfing candle towards the downside, more retracement towards the downside, I would be looking at most likely 0.22 for the next support level of Elrond. That would be my thing. Adam, you want to see GDX? Let's see, GDX. Gold miners trust. Let's take a look here. Gold miners trust. Ooh, looks pretty bullish. Looks pretty bullish. However, we got rejected today from the pivot line here, and we are going back towards like the first support line. So boom. Let's take a look on the daily. If anything here, daily still looks quite okay, but it looks like it wants to be filling the gap. So that would be my first thought. I think more push towards the downside first, and filling the gap. To be honest, if just purely looking on the first, just looking at this right now, It looks like a rejection, so I would wait for a bounce here on the 10 simple moving average. The 42.39 is most likely where this is headed towards the downside first, and then fill the gap and maybe bounce from there. Overall, definitely doesn't look like a bad chart at all. So this looks very bullish in the macro perspective, right? But I would say a small retracement first, and then most likely a bounce from there, and more upwards. This looks quite bullish overall. So yeah, just filling some gap. Yeah, 42-ish to fill this gap here. I think that's most likely what is happening. Other than that, on the weekly, let's see. Yeah, looks very bullish. Just a small gap fill, I think, and then onwards towards higher highs, all-time highs, all times higher highs. So it looks very, very, very positive. Let's take a look on XRP. Our favorite XRP. Let's take a look on XRP. XRP finally on the weekly, it's touching the EMA 55. The question is, do we break the EMA 55? Yes or no? I think that's the key area right there. So if we do close the weekly above 0.242, that would most likely give us enough energy and momentum to go towards the next one at 0.30. But we need to wait for the weekly close first there. So that would be on the weekly case. That's so let's see if on the daily, if we are seeing some momentum. Daily is looking good. Did it break the previous high? No, it didn't. So very similar as well on the daily. I would be looking at this area here. If we close the daily above that area, most likely continuation as well. So a close above 0.24491. That would be the area that I would be looking at. If we close above that area, continuation towards the upside. But it has to close first, right? It has to close first. Looking at the short term. Short term looks like a small pullback. So I do expect this one to be pulling back. Doesn't mean that we don't have a bounce, but a small pullback towards like the 10 simple moving average. 0.231 is most likely what is going to be happening. But like I said, on the long term, wait for confirmation on the daily and on the weekly. Definitely on the weekly, that will be the most important one to see if we have confirmation and continuation. But to be honest, if Bitcoin is going to be rallying towards the upside, then it will pull the other alts up as well, right? So if Bitcoin is going towards near 14,000, then our good old XRP is going towards easy towards the 30 cents as well, right? So but not as high as Bitcoin. So that's why I'm not that interested in in this shitty altcoins, because in percentage wise, Bitcoin is gonna rally harder than XRP. So that's why I'm more interested in longing Bitcoin rather than XRP. A few coins are different. Like I said, Ethereum has been rallying harder than Bitcoin. So that's the reason why I'm also longing Ethereum as well as Bitcoin, because Ethereum has been leading and has been making a little bit more gains than Bitcoin. So that's it. That's that. Let's see quick if I can already close my positions. No, still cannot close my position. Anyways, let's wrap it up. Am I going to be a green? To be honest, tomorrow I think it's going to be red because if I think what is going to be happening, like I said, I think that we will be going back towards this area here. That's what I'm expecting. But I do think that we will be rejecting it and going back down here. And then what will happen here is the main question. Well, most likely it's going to go back up, right? If we do something like this, that would be very bullish, right? If we do something like this, that would be very bullish. But I don't want to be going ahead of things. Like I said, we have our areas, we have our zones, or at least I hope you understand the key levels that we need to be breaking, or the key levels that we need to be closing candles before we can make that judgment. But what I expect, like I said, in the very short term, retest of this top line, 11.5 ish area, maybe even 11.6, as you can see here, the R3 area, or just 11.350 here. One of those targets is basically what I'm looking at, and I'll be taking profits from there. If it does get to this top here of this channel, I actually will be shorting. So that'll be that as well. I will be shorting because, once again, you have to understand your risk management is so easy on the top of the channel, right? So I'll be shorting this channel, but if the price just basically closes above 11,532, I'll be switching it over into a long position, right? So the risk management is right there, and that's why I don't want to be giving out the image of like being too bullish or too bearish, because it's really depending on the price, on the levels of that you're currently trading at, and your risk management, that you should become a profitable trader, right? That's basically how it's supposed to be if you want to be a trader. So for all the people that are you are right, you're calling this and that of that, I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What the matter is, at the end of the day, is your P&L. How much money that you been making, right? That's basically really what matters. And yeah, a lot of people don't like that attitude, but that's what a trader needs to be. And like I said, you have to be very careful. This channel this channel can break towards the upside. Yes, we are currently, probability is higher that we go to this 14,000. Yes, that's for the moon boys. But there's also a possibility, and you must put that in your mind as well, there's also a possibility that this breaks towards the downside and we go back to 7,300 ish area or something like that. Keep that in mind as well, and don't be that kind of person to just shut off your mind and only think bullish and only think bearish. Just trade accordingly upon the zones, and the zones are very well defined. Like I said, closing above this green box here, most likely continuation to the upside. Closing below this green box here, mostly continuation to the downside, right? So just trade upon that, rather than all this bullshit about, yeah, I called it that it was gonna go up, or I called it that it was gonna go down. Nobody can really call 100%. Yeah, of course, sometimes you're gonna be right. Sometimes you're gonna be right. Sometimes you're gonna be wrong. But it's way more important that you are making money no matter what the direction of the price is, and that's how it's supposed to be if you want to become a profitable trader. And that's it. So yeah, everything is in order. Do you want me to repeat anything? No, I'm not gonna repeat anything. I'm just waiting now for a move up towards 11,200 for the first target. If we do close above that Air 1, I'm expecting continuation towards 11,350 or even 11,500, the top of the range. If it does go toward the top of the range, then I will be shorting it, because I don't think that we have the momentum to be closing above it. And eventually, and I'm pretty confident about that as well, eventually we will be retesting this zone here, and that will be the key moment. That will be an automatic long for me. I mean, when we come back to that zone, I will be longing that zone, but that will be basically the key area, the Hodor moment. We have to be defending that area. So yeah, other than that, that's basically what I am expecting, and that's basically what I'm looking forward to. So guys, don't be too bullish, don't be FOMOing too much. Opportunity is right there staring at you every day. If you miss out into some positions, if you miss out in some things, don't FOMO and don't chase anything. Make your plan first, execute your plan, and just follow the plan, and most of the times it will work out, and then you will be a profitable trader, because that's all you need. You need to have more profitable trades than losing trades, right? That's basically how you make profit. So yeah, other than that, hope to see you guys same time tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8, same time and place. And yeah, please like, share, comment, whatever you want to do with this channel. And